The state of New Mexico has a rich and vibrant military heritage. Currently, we have 176,000 and rising number of veterans in the state. The people of our state bend over backwards to support and defend the United States of America. They do it in droves. Those veterans are also coming home. They're coming home to homes, they're coming home to families. Some of them are coming home broken. It's essential that we're able to identify those who are coming home with less than their full capacities than they had when they left. PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome, is something that's not new to the military. However, we seem to be seeing it in different proportions and sometimes greater proportions since the advent of the Gulf War and now with our veterans coming home from Iraqi freedom and Afghanistan. That doesn't mean that our veterans from World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and even the Cold War veterans don't have issues that our law enforcement personnel, the people who are first responders in many different areas, need to be aware of to help those veterans be able to continue to work with their families, to go home every night, and then to continue to live their lives as productive Americans. Many of our veterans, when they come home with PTSD, you may find them to be very similar to someone with other mental health issues because it is a mental health category. But our veterans have to be taken care of on many different levels. From a law enforcement and a first responder standpoint, that's what this series of films, this training series, is to take care of. To give you some extra tools in your toolkit to help that veteran be able to go home every night to his wife, children, and family. Like our law enforcement officers, the soldiers who come home from Iraq, Afghanistan, the Horn of Africa, the many places where we send them in as a nation are heroes. We need to take care of all of our heroes. That includes our law enforcement officers, our first responders, and the veteran themselves. This training that we're trying to provide is to provide you some more tools in your toolkit to be able to help identify that veteran who may be having issues. And may not just be a veteran, it may be someone with other behavioral health issues, with autism, some of the other issues that our whole medical community takes a look at. We really need to take a look at how we can de-escalate that situation. That's part of what we want to be able to help you try and do with this little 4-hour training film. To be able to have a veteran encounter a veteran is sometimes the best way to take a very volatile situation and de-escalate it to one that's manageable, both for the veteran and for you as a law enforcement officer. We've got to be able to work a way to get our veterans back into a state of mind where you're not a threat. That's de-escalation. That's making that connection veteran to veteran, or whatever other tool you can bring into that situation so that they understand that you know where they're coming from. Helping our veterans not become a statistic is the key to this program. The state passed laws that instituted this training across our law enforcement force. That was based on an unfortunate incident in New Mexico within the last year. We want to be able to prevent another act like happened to Kenneth Ellis from happening. We want you to be able to de-escalate that situation so that we can get that veteran back into the help programs that he needs, so that we don't have another mother, we don't have another child that's gone fatherless unnecessarily. Currently, the Veterans Administration estimates that 25% of all returning troops nationwide are affected by some type of post-traumatic stress. Here in New Mexico, we have over 30,000 men and women who've gone over and served and have recently returned. Just doing the math, we have 7,500, probably more, veterans who suffer from post-traumatic stress syndrome. You are very likely to run into one of those victims on a normal traffic stop, when you're doing a house call with a domestic dispute. The situations are going to be there. We've tried to institute laws, we've tried to legislate some training to help overcome a problem, but the one who's going to be on point, the one who's going to actually have to work the situation and work that de-escalation is going to be you. It's going to be you, the first responder, the law enforcement officer, even the dispatchers who take that first call to identify that we have a veteran with post-traumatic stress syndrome. That's what I'm asking you to do. Try and make that identification, try and make that initial contact with the veteran, try and de-escalate that situation so that we can bring home another veteran, get him fixed, get him healed, and send him home to work with his family.